Lieutenant, something's wrong with the upper coordinates. Should we abort?
The people who had traveled to the future were like kites cut loose, plummeting rapidly from the sky. The lucky ones landed on rooftops, barely clinging to life. The unlucky ones shattered to pieces on impact. Tragically, this time travel squad had barely had a chance to face the White Spikes head-on before nearly being wiped out. Fortunately, Dan fell into the pool and escaped without danger. The survivors were still in shock, staring in disbelief at the hellish scene before them, hearts pounding with fear. The White Spikes had completely taken over the city, and humanity was powerless to stop their rampage. The only option left was to eliminate the White Spikes once and for all. The military decided to launch a massive carpet bombing campaign. At that moment, the squad received orders through the communications system. Their current mission: reach a nearby research lab to carry out a crucial rescue operation and attempt to save several trapped scientists. But when they arrived, horror awaited them. Everyone inside the lab had already been slaughtered. The gruesome scene confirmed their worst fear. White Spikes were likely hiding somewhere inside the building. Meanwhile, the bombers were already en route, set to strike in 6 minutes. But Commander gave a decisive order: evacuate immediately. As they descended the stairs, disaster struck. From above, the haunting roars of White Spikes echoed from the rooftop. Dan quickly shone his flashlight and finally saw their terrifying forms. Without hesitation, the squad opened fire on the rooftop, but their attack only brought regret. The White Spikes weren't alone, they were a whole pack. The team scrambled to retreat downstairs, with the creatures hot on their heels. One soldier tried to slam the door shut to block them but was thrown aside with a single charge. Dan fired frantically, but the White Spikes seemed impervious to bullets. When his ammo ran out, Dan still hadn't made a dent. With no other choice, he grabbed a fire axe and swung with all his strength. At the critical moment, his teammates arrived, and together they finally brought down one White Spike. They wasted no time fleeing the building. Outside, the streets were flooded with White Spikes. The human airstrike would hit in 3 minutes, so the squad had to get clear of the red smoke zone immediately, but the creatures were relentless. Just when hope seemed lost, a rescue convoy appeared, giving them a flicker of relief. They cheered, but in the next moment...
What the hell, man?
The squad found themselves surrounded. With no choice, they moved forward under fire, struggling to survive. The White Spikes' numbers were overwhelming, and casualties mounted. The bombers arrived on schedule, dropping explosives on the streets below. By sheer luck, the squad made it out of the red smoke zone, but the danger wasn't over. More White Spikes were rapidly closing in, even as the bombing continued. They had to find cover quickly. The team climbed fences and scrambled through tunnels, White Spikes in relentless pursuit. The battle raged fiercely, and people kept falling. Injured teammates, realizing they could no longer escape, chose to stay behind, sacrificing themselves to buy the others more time to flee.